On this page, you'll also find a video presentation explaining contracts in general, the difference between independent contractor agreements versus vendor agreements, non-disclosure agreements versus partnership agreements, and just a general overview. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to show you the contracts that you can either win or that you can purchase for yourself. These are the fillable contracts. Now, we'll go ahead and start with the independent contractor agreement. The independent contractor agreement is an agreement that you use when you are the one being requested to provide services for someone else. Now, you'll know best what those services are. It could either be for a live event, it could be consulting services, it could be for a campaign. You'll have the ultimate decision on whether or not this contract applies. What you'll see here is a section where you can actually input your name or your company name, whether it's for your LLC or your corporation, as well as the individual on the other side. The first section is a project and a term and determination. Now, this section will spell out how long this contract will last for and the different ways that you can actually terminate the agreement. We add additional protections to make sure that you yourself can always get out of this agreement. Now, in the services section here, this is going to describe exactly what work you'll be doing for the other side and how those services need to be rendered. Next, you have the license, approvals, and restrictions section. Now, this section will explain how the other side can actually use your IP, your name, your image, your likeness, your picture. This will essentially gives you the right to approve how your name is spelled, if it's going to appear on a website, in any social media campaign, what image they can use. This is going to protect your ability to control your marketing materials, as well as make sure that it's clear between the two parties who owns what. It also makes sure that anything regarding your trademarks or your copyrights, any work that you're going to incorporate into the services that you will be providing for the other side, that you get to retain those rights, and in no way, shape, or form are you turning over those rights to the other side. Next, we have the consideration and expenses section. Now, this section is pretty straightforward. It explains how much money you're getting paid to provide these services. But what it also does, it gives you the ability to include expenses that the other side needs to pay on your behalf or reimburse you for. Now, you'll know what's best. It could be a situation where you must travel for work. Now, you can go ahead and include travel. You can include lodging. You can include food or drink. You'll ultimately be the one who knows whether or not it's an expense that you should or shouldn't be getting reimbursed for. Now, the two big points of the independent contractor agreement are going to be the representation and warranty section and the indemnification section. Now, in the reps and warranties, these are promises that the other company is making to you, as well as promises that you're making to them. But here in this agreement, we make sure that the company is making more promises to you than you are to them, essentially making sure that they have the right to enter into this agreement, that they will pay you on time, and that any of the materials that they were providing you in order to perform the services that you need won't violate anyone else's third-party rights, as well as a few other additional protections that we put in place for you. In the indemnification section, now this is what's going to really give you the peace of mind to enter into this agreement, whether it's with a company that you know very well or an up-and-coming company. Essentially what this section does is it will protect you in the case that during this event or this project or the services, someone else sues you for something that you did on behalf of the company and it was the company's fault. They will come in and step in your shoes to protect you during that lawsuit. Now, this is something that we include in the other agreements as well, but this is what's going to give you peace of mind, so that even though it may be a company that you're not entirely sure whether or not you should work with or not, this section will give you peace of mind. Now, if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you'll find the Schedule A that I mentioned earlier. Now, here in this fillable agreement, it will provide a description as far as what you need to input into this agreement. Majority of the time, the other side will go ahead and send you the Schedule A, but it's up to you to make sure that it's actually accurate and represents what you should be doing, and more importantly, what you're actually getting paid for. You want to make sure that in the Schedule A, there's not more requests that you're actually getting paid for. Now, we'll jump to the next agreement, which is the non-disclosure agreement. Now, in a non-disclosure agreement, this is an agreement that you use anytime you're sharing an idea, a concept, or a potential investment with an investor, a partner, or a client. Essentially, anytime you have confidential information that you want to protect, yet you still want to share with someone else, that is when you use this agreement. Now, in this agreement, what you'll see is the confidential information section is very, very detailed and very, very thorough. It includes technical information, financial and account data, business plans, projections, analyses, studies, reports, contracts, agreements. It is a very thorough section to make sure that whatever your idea is, it will be protected. Now, what happens in the case where there is a breach of the confidentiality section? Well, this agreement also enables you to pursue injunctive relief. Essentially what injunctive relief is it allows you to stop the other party from moving forward with your stolen idea, to allow a court to come in, review the contract, review this particular NDA, and make sure that there was not any violation. If there is a violation, then you will ultimately be the one rewarded. Again, it's a fillable contract. Majority of this is already filled in for you. It really is just the parties as well as the signature at the end. Finally, we have the vendor agreement. Now, the vendor agreement is used when you are the one hiring someone else to perform services on your behalf. Whether you have a live event that you're putting on, or you're a consultant and you need to hire a third party to come and do work. Maybe you're an athlete or you're an influencer and you're hiring a photographer or a videographer to come and do work for you. Regardless of the circumstances, this contract will go ahead and protect you. Very similar to the independent contractor agreement. It includes a place for your name as well as the name of the person that you're hiring. It also has a compensation section, the relationship between the parties, making it clear that they're an independent contractor, they're not an employee of yours. They will be responsible for their own taxes, and it limits your liability. Again, the most important part is the indemnification section. In the indemnification section, it will make sure that should the other party have an issue while performing services on your behalf and someone else sues, and it's not your fault, they will step in and they will protect you. They will take on that lawsuit and make sure that you are not liable for the result of their actions. So, with that being said, those are the 3 agreements that you can either win or that you can potentially purchase. Good luck and have a great day.